YouTube. I know it's been a while. It's been a good minute, and I'm so sorry. I know y'all be thinking like, she too sporadic for me. I'm so sorry. There's been a lot going on last year. And I really been slacking, so I really need to make it up to y'all. I know I did this before, but come on, give me one more chance. Okay, so a lot has happened since I have been talking to y'all. I moved, got a cat, and it's just been a lot of like different things going on in my life. But a lot of people have been trying to tell me that I need to start my YouTube back, and I'm gonna listen to them, because I miss y'all. I miss entertaining y'all. So therefore, I'm gonna give y'all a juicy story time today. All right? Okay, so boom, I'm gonna tell y'all about how I lost my 8-year friend with somebody. And it was really because I didn't notice their true colors when they were showing them to me. Okay? All right, so boom, look. Okay, so I met her when I was in the 7th grade, okay? I'm going to call her Rachel. Okay, that's what I'm going to call her. Of course, that's not her real name. I'm not saying no real names on here, but her name was Rachel. We was friends for about, like I said, 8 years. But when I met her in 7th grade, it was just like a 12-year-old friendship would be. Like, I wasn't thinking of nothing weird about her. Everything was really just cool. So, when I started noticing like weird stuff about her, like, because mind you, she was like one of those friends that would like pop in and out your life. But it was just like, it was always cool and she came back around. So why would I think of anything weird? So, okay. So years went by. We would talk like, because we didn't go to the same high school. So we didn't talk like all like that. But when we did talk, it was all good vibes. Nothing weird, nothing, And I want to say we was about like 17, 18, getting ready for prom, real supportive of each other's proms, everything. So everything was like, so we had graduated. I was about like 18. We was both about 18 at the time. And I had talked to this one dude. I'm going to call him Tommy. Not saying real names, just call him Tommy. Okay, so me and Tommy started talking. I want to say we was talking for about a good month at this time. So I was getting ready to go to a football game with Rachel. And when we was about to go to the football game, whatever, I was getting ready. He was asking me where I was going. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to go with my friend or whatever to this football game. And then we about to go do this, that, and the third. She was like, he was like, oh, hold on. I know somebody named Rachel. And I'm like, oh, for real? And then he was just like, yeah. I said, well, y'all probably do because y'all did go to the same high school at one point in time. He was like, okay, yeah, let me show me a picture. So, boom, I sent him a picture of her. And he was like, what? He was like, I know her. I'm like, wow. I said, how you know her? Y'all went to school together, right? He was like, no, I messed with her and blah, blah, blah. And it went downhill after that. Mind y'all, I did not know that they only messed around for a week. He was making it like they was together or whatever for like a month, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So I'm thinking like, what? I'm like, so what? Like, I don't, what are you saying? So I'm like, okay, so does that mean that you're not, what's up? So he was like, no, I'm not about to let that come between us. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And when he said that, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm pretty sure he did it because we stopped talking for other reasons. It just wasn't meant to, we just wasn't clicking. Neither one of us, we just don't click, okay? Some people just don't click. So everybody not meant to like, be together or whatever, the case. So basically, I go to the football game with Rachel, right? Tell me why I did this on purpose. Because I wanted to see what she was going to say. Tell me why she was like, because she seen his name in my phone. So she was like, oh, hold on, who is that? Like a friend would. So I'm like, oh, it's Tommy. So she was like, what? She was like, wait, did he go here to this school? And I'm like, yeah. So, okay. So I'm like, all right, yeah, And so she getting kind of hyped. Like, oh my God. Like, okay, I got it. We get it. You know him. So I'm kind of getting a little like, all right, I'm doing a little too much. And I'm messing with this dude now. So, she was like, oh no, it's not like that. I gotta do blah, blah, blah. Mind you, I found out later on in time that her having a dude don't mean a lick of difference to her. I did not know that at the time. And I wish that I had some type of warnings or something, but I had a warning probably a year later. But I didn't know how, because like I said, when we was in high school and stuff, I wasn't really around her. So I really didn't know I was her friend or whatever, but it was I didn't really know her because after I had left from that school there that we had went to, I went to a whole nother district and we never really was hanging out or whatever. Because neither one of us had cars or, we just never hung out for it. So therefore, I really did not know her all like that more than what I knew from middle school. Everybody changes from middle school for the good or the bad. So, from there on or whatever, we was, I want to say I was still 18. Yeah, I was still 18. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to cut her off. I'm going to still keep her around. She's still cool, right? So, hold on, y'all. I'm hungry. I wouldn't really say this is a mukbang because when I like to talk, I talk. But I'm not about to sit there and eat and not talk because y'all got to hear some of these stories, y'all. Okay, so, but I mean, if y'all want to know, I got wings, ice cream, and some chips. It's not really like a mukbang thing. So if I just eat in between, just understand that I'm hungry. So, okay, boom. Okay, so boom. Okay. We still 18 at this time. Me, her, and my other best friend, we had hung out. We had went to Applebee's. This is my best friend at the time though. We had went to Applebee's and we hanging out, all good vibes. I'm thinking everybody about to be cool because we all was cool, but I'm thinking we're going to have a good night. But then Rachel just keep bringing up the dude that I was talking to. And I'm just like, why do you keep bringing this man up? Is something going on that I don't know about? So, boom, I'm like, okay, I'm cool off that. Why do you keep bringing this boy up? And, I let her know, I'm not cool with that. You doing a little too much now. So, okay, boom. When I want to say after that night ended, I wasn't really around her all like that. I was probably took a year break from her, it's safe to say. And after that year break, I had got this new car. Now the new car that I got is a Nissan. Keep in mind, okay, because the Nissan has something to do with my next story that I'm gonna make. Okay, so keep in mind, I had a Nissan car. That was my first car. Now, like I said, the car has more to do with the next story than this story, but okay. Okay, so I had my car, and I'm like, yeah. I hit Rachel up. I'm like, yeah, this is that and the third. I'll drive over there to come get you. We can come kick it. We can go kick it. Do whatever. It don't matter. At the time, I wasn't a drinker or a smoker, so my hanging out was, let's go out to the mall, let's kick it, let's buy some clothes, let's go eat, stuff like that. That's still my kick it, that's still my idea of a kick it. But I mean, y'all get what I mean. So, we had went to the mall, we kicked there all day, no bad vibes, I'm good. So I was like, okay, well, I think she cool now. I think everything gonna be cool. I'm not gonna get no weird energy from her no more. Everything gonna be everything, right? So I ended up, okay, like I said, this car has to do more so with my next story, which I'm going to post after this. But basically what happened was this part, so everything makes sense. So it kind of makes sense. I lost my car due to a bad car accident. And I wasn't driving no more, so I couldn't get around. She didn't have a car either. So therefore, we wasn't able to get around on our own. And it was just like, we live in two different complete areas where it's like, I'm not catching the bus all the way there. Like, I mean, like sometimes we did that for each other, but for the most part, it was just like, we could just see each other when we see each other. And that was okay. Like, that's cool with me. So, basically, we had linked back up back in 2020. 2020, we had linked up, and I want to say it was probably like in the, no, it wasn't the springtime, summertime. I had just got through this breakup, and y'all put that story in my page too. I just went through this breakup, and I really just wanted to be around my friends around this time. Because, breakups, they are hard. So I had just broke up with my ex or whatever. And when I was there, I'm like, yeah, Rachel, we about to kick it, blah, blah, blah. So, we kicking it. Everything is so normal to me. I'm thinking that we good, everything just going going a flow, right? Okay. There was this one time we had went to the gas station. I don't know why we was sitting there at the pump, but I think we was sitting there. So basically we was trying to put gas in my tank, and we was doing DoorDash. I'm gonna just be honest. Neither one of us had a job at the time doing DoorDash. I was trying to put a little bit of gas in my tank before we really did DoorDash. So I think it was something about she was sending me the money and I was waiting for it to come through so I could put it in my tank. Or I was getting the money and I was waiting on it to, either way I was waiting on it to process. Okay. So I put it in my tank. So we just sitting there chilling. Somebody that I used to mess with came up, and she was basically we was talking. And then when he started going into the store, she was like, oh, he kind of cute. I mess with him. And I'm like, And I was just like, you know what? I didn't really make myself clear that this is somebody that, you know what I'm saying, I see from time on time. All right? So she proceeds to say, is there a boundary for that? I said, we are friends. That's a boundary that you cannot cross. I just felt like that's not something you're gonna do with me. And she was just basically saying how she used to mess around with like her and her old friend used to basically mess around with the same dude or whatever. I don't know. It was something weird like that. And I was just like, yeah, well, I'm cool off that. That's not me. And I'm not sharing. I'm just not doing that. And that was just the bottom line. So after that or whatever, I was basically just, I was basically letting her know how, you know what I'm saying? Letting her know about that. No, that's not cool. This is not what's going to happen. This is not what's up. Boom. So later on that night, she got mad at me because I had left with the old dude and she was blowing up my phone or whatever. And she was basically just trying to make a excuse oh my God, I miss you. This is that and the third. And I'm like, girl, I'm coming back. I'm not staying out all night. I'm coming back. And I think at this time, it was probably 4 o'clock in the morning. But it was I was coming right back. And then it was the way her building was set up, it was she did not have to let me in. As far as I remember, oh my God. As far as I remember, I'm sorry if y'all hear something in the background. It's pissing me off. But anyway, The way her building was set up, you did not have to let me in. So it's like I would have been cool coming there and on my own and getting in the apartment on my own. Like, and she never locked her door. So like, if the door was open downstairs or whatever, you know, I would just be able to just float in. And the door was 9 times out of 10 open because either she'll put something in the door or like it'll just, I don't know, just mainly be open. So, what happened was she was like being salty or whatever. Like I knew she was salty that I left with old dude. Okay. So that's the other red flag. Okay. So then next thing I know, okay, so y'all know what a 2-man mission is. Okay. I'm basically on my way home from somewhere else. And she was basically like calling me. She FaceTime. She like, Tay, you coming back over here? I'm like, yeah, probably so. Because, I was basically over her house, like real heavy, like spending months at a time at her house. Like I could have moved in if I wanted to. Okay. And she had recommended that to me, but it was just like, no, I'm cool on roommates. So like, I just feel like it's a difference between spending a lot of time with your friends, like months at a time, and moving in. Like, those are 2 different things. So, basically, she had, oh my goodness. So yeah, she called me and she was just basically saying like, okay, yeah, you know, it's somebody here for me and he got a friend. So I'm like, let me see what the friend look like. So I'm like, she like, yeah, it's the one on the end. And I said, which end? Because it was 3 of them. It was hers. No, it was one that I wouldn't have wanted, hers, and mine. But I didn't know, like, you know. So I'm like, which end? So she told me the right end. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I said, I'm on my way. Well, it wasn't exactly how I pointed, but it was, you know what I mean. So I'm like, all right, bet, I'll be on my way. So I went to her house, and she said they had a bottle. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I'm definitely coming there now. Mind you, like I said, I'm 20. We both 20. And I like to drink. She used to cap about liking to drink. Like, she used to cap about liking to drink. But I was the actual drinker. I'm going to get into that a little bit, too. So, basically, I went there, whatever, you know, we kicking it, everybody chilling, everybody good vibes. We playing drunk Uno, okay? We playing drunk Uno, and you know, we get hungry. So now, you know, when you get drunk, you get hungry. So we went to the, I ain't gonna lie, there was nothing open. There was like probably like 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, like at night. So, you know, we go to this gas station or whatever, and we get some wings, like some wings and some fries or whatever. I don't remember if we had money or not, but regardless of the fact, I think we was talking about what we wanted, and they looked at each other and they was like, oh yeah, we about to, you know. So they had got us some food. So we like, all right, bet, like, thank you, this is that and the third. So, because they already got the bottle, so I'm like, y'all really, like, okay, y'all really, like, really just getting everything. Y'all really supplying for the kick it. So, that's cool. Okay? So, after that, okay, we go to our old middle school, right? And we on the playground. Like, we was basically acting like little kids, going to the playground, which I think is stuff like that is fun to me. And I'm not going to let nobody tell me it's not. And I'm not going to let nobody tell me I'm childish for doing stuff that I like to do. And that's just how I feel. But we was at the playground playing around like some little kids. And, you know, I think we had cups with us because we were still drinking. So we drunk, obviously. So, you know. So then we go to the beach. That's really starting to piss me off. Anyway, we go to the beach, right? So it's like a scene out the movie. Like, we really kicking it, just chilling. And we just talking, and it's like, we just really chilling. So we like, all right, well, we better go back to the house. So now we on the way back to the house. And, you know, I'm feeling good because at the time I had my car and I was tired of driving. So I was tired of driving. So I was happy I was riding Peace Side. So, you know, We get into the house. We start watching a movie. This is starting to piss me off. Anyway. So, boom. We go back to the house. We started turning on a movie. I forgot what we was watching. I want to say we was watching Candyman. But at the time, the newest Candyman wasn't out. So it was probably like one of the old Candymans, which I think that's what it was. Oh my God. Anyway, you know what? I'm not. So, anyway, we was watching Candyman. So, you know, her and old dude in her room, we out there, whatever. Nothing happened that night until the next night. But the thing is, the next day she came to me. She said, I don't know. It was like after a while, I was starting to like feel like you want what I got. Like it was starting to seem like when I got somebody, you want them too. Because I was starting to see like, I was just starting to see a pattern. And it was just weird. Like, why do you want the same people? So what had happened was the next day we we by ourselves. And so we by ourselves or whatever. And she asked me, do I want to switch? As in switch the boys. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I'm like, maybe you on to something. Because I'm not gonna lie. I was like looking at the other dude and I'm like, hold on. Did she get the luck of the draw? Or did I? Turns out I did. But I was thinking about a switcheroo. I ain't gonna fake to y'all. Like, y'all's people, I'm gonna be my real self around. Like, I'm my real self regardless. So it's just like, everybody that knows me knows I am me regardless. That's just me. I'm gonna be honest. So I was thinking, like, I was low-key thinking about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I guess they were supposed to be coming back that night and bringing another bottle or something like that. Or I think we bought the bottle that night. But regardless of the fact, she was trying to, you know, switch. And I was just like, okay, maybe it's not that big of a deal. But it was just like, Okay, let me just go on with the story. So, you know, the next night or whatever, it was me and no dude's time. You know, leave it at that. And afterwards or whatever, it was like the other day, and they wasn't there that day, and we was just by ourselves. But I had realized, like, I don't know, it was like a weird energy coming from her. Like, I'm a very good reader on energy. Like, whether I let you know or not, I am a good reader on energy. And I wasn't really vibing with her energy that next day. So I'm like, I know she's trying to be sneaky with something. I kind of knew what it was, but it was just like, it was just weird. So I'm like, you know what? Okay. And from there, I had actually, I want to say we was actually out one day, and there was this dude. So I'm just basically just adding all this stuff up, and y'all gonna be like, oh, that is weird. So it was this dude that she was not talking to, but talking to or just cool with, and you know. But she was on the phone with him like that whole day, and I'm thinking like not even being weird or nothing. I'm thinking like, oh, he probably a cool dude to kick it with, drink with, like, okay, like, cause me, I can be hanging with like one of my friends, dudes, and my friend, and everything cool, nobody on nothing weird, like, and vice versa. So it's like, I'm thinking like, oh, okay, like, yeah, this, that, and the third, like, we can all kick it. If he wanted to come kick it with us, drink with us, you know. So I'm like, I'm not thinking of nothing though. I'm not thinking like, I'm not being weird or nothing. I'm just sincerely like, oh yeah, we can all kick it. Cause he seemed like a cool person. So at first she was like, yeah, we can come and get you later. So I'm like, all right. I said, bet, we can go and get him later. That's cool. And so later it comes around. Whole day we over here like talking to this man on the phone. I'm thinking he cool. I'm thinking she cool. All of that. Later on in the day, she just kind of started getting a little closed off. Started getting real closed off, real standoffish. And I was just like, did you want to go and get this dude still? And she was like, yeah. And I was just like, okay. And then it was like, this was the night where I started noticing that she would only bring dudes around me that she thinks that I would like. Let me just finish the story. So I was just like, why are you so hesitant on bringing this dude around me? If you like him, you like him. And I'm starting to realize that, okay, you know what I'm saying? When we came and got him, I did say a joke. And like, she was just like, I'm not going to say it, but I did say a joke. And like, she was just like laughing along with me. But it was like, it wasn't like a bad joke, but it was just like, what? Like, so I was like, this is who we about to be with. But I'm like, but it was like a joke that I said about like, it was a certain thing that he was wearing, or I thought he was wearing. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna actually say it, but because I don't know how y'all gonna take it. But I had said something, and like, about something that I thought he was wearing, but he wasn't. And she was just basically like laughing, but it was just like, you know what it was. You would have known if that piece of clothing was right. You would have known that's probably what, you know what I'm saying? So whatever. And later on or whatever, we was going to get a bottle. Went to go get a bottle. And I'm starting to realize that I'm starting to think that she thinks that she's me. Because it would just be so much things like that would be like, why are you trying to like the same things? I'm like, you don't drink. You're not a drinker. Why do you keep telling these people you drink like this and you don't? She would drink, but she would not drink like that. Like she would be capped out. Basically, she would just be capped. So I'm like, all right. You know what? I'm going to just go ahead and we about to just go ahead. We about to go get this bottle. I said, well, let's go get a pizza. I'm hungry. Because we about to be drinking. Let's get a pizza. So we go and get a pizza. Or we about to go and get a pizza. At the time, I'm not going to lie to y'all. At the time, I was like the cheese. Like, I ain't want pepperoni. I ain't want supreme. I ain't want nothing. I just wanted cheese. Like, that was really far to me. But that was what I used to like. I like everything on my pizza now. Like, I like pepperonis. And, like, I like supreme pizza. I like stuff like that. I like really everything, really. But at the time, it was just strictly cheese. I wasn't eating it if it had pepperonis on there. No, it wasn't that. So, okay, boom. So, you know, he ended up saying, like, the boy in the back, he ended up, I really don't remember his name, but he ended up saying, like, it don't matter what kind of pizza we get. This is that and the third. And I was just like, okay, well, I want cheese. I ain't gonna lie. Damn, but no, before that, I said that, the girl, Rachel, she was just basically like, she was like, you know what? I like pepperoni, pineapple, sausage. It was like some weird combination like that. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're not eating that. Because what? I'm like, I don't like all that on my pizza. Or we could get a half and half. And then, like I said, in all honesty, I like just cheese. And after she was so hyped about this pizza that she wanted, and I said, I just want cheese, it was just like, you know what? I like cheese too. That's cool. That's actually perfect. That's actually one of my favorite pizzas. So I'm like, all right, yeah, this already kind of weird. But I was just like, all right, you know, I'm going to just skip past that. So when I started realizing that like it was something just well, I knew something wasn't right. But it was just like I'm starting to realize something really is not right when I feel like I don't feel comfortable or I don't like your energy when I bring a dude around. No, you have never full on came and tried to flirt with any of my dudes yet. But it was just like I had a feeling. This is not the type of female you need to have around your dude. Because whether he fall for it or not, she's still gonna try. I'm like, yeah, and I had that feeling. I had a gut feeling. So it was fast forward. Oh yeah, also like it would just be little things in between, like it's like she would start doing things like me. Like it was certain things, I can't remember exactly what I used to do, but it was a certain movement I would make or like certain things I don't know, not certain things I would say, but you know when somebody trying to move just like you, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Like I can't really get into detail, but you know when somebody is trying to move like you, talk like you, eat like you know when somebody thinks that they're you. So I started peeping that, and I'm just like, okay, no, I'll tell you, you just tripping. You tripping, like, what? So, okay. So I'm thinking, like, I'm just going on with emotions and whatever. So I started talking to this one dude, right? Mind you, they went to the same high school. This is another one of those cases. Went to the same high school, but it's a different dude. So I went to the same high school. I knew that they knew each other. And she told me that she used to try to talk to him, whatever. And I'm like, okay, we was already talking by that time, like by the time she told me this. But I'm like, okay, well, we talking now. So it's just like, I really don't care about what happened in high school because we're not in high school anymore. We're grown. We're 20 years old. Well, I'm not 20 now, but at the time, I was 20. I'm 21 now, but boom. I'm like, okay, well, we 20 now. Y'all ain't do nothing. Nothing happened. Okay, so, okay. And the people who know the person is like, y'all understand. So, basically, I was DoorDashing. And I want to say I was getting my last order. And I had to pick him up first, and I had to go and pick her up from work. I don't know why I had to pick him up first, but for some reason I had to pick him up first. And, but then go and pick her up from work because that was just what we did. I was like, well, I got my car. So yeah, we could just go, I could pick you up and, take you home or whatever. So, I picked her up. From the time that me and him was in the car alone, and I'm just sitting here feeling his energy, feeling her. She wasn't even in the car yet. I'm feeling his energy. And next thing you know, she get in the car, and I'm like, something's going to happen tonight to make her not my friend anymore, or to make me stop talking to him. Something's going to happen. Or to make me stop talking to both of them. Something going to happen. And I kept telling myself that in my head. So, y'all, I kid you not. A lot of the times that I say something, it's normally right. So she comes to the car. She get in the back. Me and the dude, I'm going to call him Alonzo. Alonzo. Okay, so me and Alonzo, we in the car, like we right here in the front or whatever. She get in the back. So she like, hey, whatever, this, that, and the third. I'm like, hey, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just sitting here, just peeping the vibe. I don't turn on no music, nothing, because I just want to see what is she going to do? What is she going to say? How's she going to move? So Cause I'm gonna make it as awkward as possible just to see like, what are you gonna do? You never came on to nobody. You never actually came on to them, but I know that you would try something. Other than that whole thing with the friend at the gas station thing and the 2-man thing. Well, the 2-man thing, that I'm not gonna count that, but y'all know it's weird. Regardless of the fact, all of it is weird. Okay, so she was in the back. We talking on the way home. She talking about old dude that she had still had from the 2-man night. So, I guess he was at her house. And when we was taking her home, it was just like, all right, well, you know what I'm saying? He there or whatever. Okay. We sit in the parking lot, and for some reason, like, we just sitting there talking. She just started becoming like real. She just kept giving off weird vibes. And I'm just like, and she was talking about high school and all that. And I'm just like, then like, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I went to the same school. And so then like afterwards or whatever, I was driving off, and I don't know if he seen it, but I did. I was driving off, but I know she think I didn't see it. And like, she stuck up her middle finger at him. What? Huh? Bro, I'm like, yeah, we're done. We are done. Like, no. And I am the type of person, I'm sorry if I'm getting hyped, but it's just the fact that I'm the type of person that if I cut you off, it is for something that you did, and it's just like I just feel like there are certain things that you know you should not be doing. And then it's like, I gave you so many chances. Like, I used to give people so many chances. Now it's like the first slip up, you're gone. Bro, I gave her so many chances, and that day was my last straw. Bro, when I say, soon as I drove off from that parking lot, I went home. Well, we went home. I think I was going home with him, or I don't know. Regardless, we went home. And I'm like, yeah, I already know what's up. We used to text each other every day. So it was like, if I didn't text her back, it was going to be weird. So, oh yeah, I forgot to throw in the fact. Oh my goodness, I hate when I forget things out of the story. I also forgot about the fact that she kept trying to throw in having threesomes with me. We never had no discussion one-on-one. And that's not somebody who I would do that with. But we never had discussions one-on-one about that. And it's just like, why do you keep bringing this up to me? And this is not what I want to do. And you know that. Like, you just want to, what you want? So, y'all, basically, that's what happened. So, basically, she wanted to act oblivious the next day, right? So she started texting me. And so, she basically blowing up my phone. Like, I'm getting my hair done. And she blowing up my phone. And I'm like, I'm not answering. Because I just feel like I ghosted you. And I feel like I said something like, I'm cool on you and we not friends no more. I feel like I said something like that. And then she was just basically like, we too old to be not saying, we too old not to be telling each other what's wrong. And I just said, we too old to be acting oblivious to things that we're doing that you know is going to piss me off. So after that, she was just like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And I said, I bet you don't. So after that or whatever, I'm like, I'm not texting her back no more. I don't think I blocked her. No, I didn't. So that was that. But she was out. She was just running her mouth because that's all she was going to do. But, yeah, that was the story on how I lost I ain't lose. She lost me. 8-year friendship over some foolery. Basically, that's what it was. It was some foolery because, like, what? I would have never did you like that. Like, it's just certain things that you just don't do as a friend. Like, cause now if I had went for her first love, then I would have been the one in the wrong, right? Like, come on, like for real. And that's just something I'm not gonna do. It's not in my heart. Even like I was like, I'm not gonna cap y'all. I was sitting there thinking, should I do that for revenge? But I'm like, no, because that's not in my heart. I can't sit there and just be, come on now. But it's like, the thought did cross my mind. I ain't gonna cap. But yeah, so like my videos, like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and just come back for part 2. Because this part 2, this kind of hectic too. Like, it's kind of fried. So come back. Because y'all need to hear this. Bye, y'all.